Okay. Raids are officially dead. Raids are not dead. Raids are enabled, guys, and it feels damn good. Here we are. Okay, so I guess we might as well get right down to it, guys, because we all know what the title is about, right? We all know what everyone wants to talk about and everyone wants to hear about, because I was not expecting anything like this. Well, maybe I should have been. Maybe I should have been expecting it, actually, because I even said that ArenaNet is in their redemption arc, right? I mean, this is something that I said. You know, I said this on Tea Time, and you know, I've said this for a while now, over a few streams, and seriously, I can't believe it. I cannot believe this, guys. They are actually doing it. It is unbelievable that they actually did this. More communication has come through, and you could even argue that it's a lot better than the roadmap, because they're actually saying some interesting things here that are relevant, right? There isn't that kind of broad sweeping things with a few kind of indecisive, like kind of non-committal memes, right? This is actually some legitimate specifics regarding some of the content in Guild Wars 2. So I suppose we might as well just go ahead and leap on into it. Let's get it up on stream and let's talk about it, guys. This is a message from Andrew Gray is who this is from. Let's get this to a good size so we can take a look at what's going on here and make it nice and readable. If you guys want to keep track of it, it's just bloop, boop, 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 boop. Okay, so what have we got going on here? A message from Andrew Gray. Fire achievement. There he is. He's fire. I like that. You know, he's going for the Elementalist gameplay there. So, hey everybody. My name is Andrew Gray. I took over as content design lead a few months back, and I want to talk a little bit about last year, this year, and what's on the horizon for Guild Wars 2. First, 2019 was hard. I've been with ArenaNet since 2004, and I can say without question that 2019 was the studio's most challenging. Well, that's unsurprising considering everything that happened. Many of the people who left in 2019 were not involved in the day-to-day development of Guild Wars 2. Yep, we know that. That much is true. But they were our friends, colleagues, and in some cases, literally family. Yeah, it was... Layoffs are horrible, man. Really, really rough. You know, a lot of sympathy there for ArenaNet. All the teams were affected by saying goodbye to so many colleagues. I'm proud of what we were able to ship under the circumstances, but we also understand the legacy we're trying to carry forward with Guild Wars 2. Rather than slip into a status quo, we are determined to create an even better game moving forward. That is very, very good to hear, actually. Like that, just that sentiment is huge. If they can hold to that, that's massive. This is one of the big complaints, actually, that people had about Living Story 3, in particular, actually, is that everything just kind of felt the same and very, very generic. Like, you know, Living Story 3 and Living Story 4 kind of had this issue with just being, you know, very cookie cutter, right? So yeah, it's a detail there, but it's an important detail. We've got our footing, and we have exciting plans for the future of Guild Wars 2. Ooh. I can't talk about what I'm most excited for yet. Oh, why are you teasing us, man? Why are they blue-balling the community? Unbelievable. But I can tell you, 2020 is laying the groundwork for an exciting future. Here are some of the highlights. So that, okay, look, I'm not going to lie, boys, right? That kind of hurts, doesn't it? 2020 is laying down the groundwork for an exciting future. I mean, I am going to say that that's maybe just slightly misworded there, because the implication behind that statement is, oh yeah, you're gonna have to wait until 2021, right, when we really get going, right? But yeah, I think we can interpret this and give the benefit of that. You know, it should be fun. I think this is a very, very exciting statement, like a great statement to make. I mean, wow, unbelievable, unbelievable. I didn't see this one coming at all. Okay, so let's have some details. Living World. So basically, this article is going to talk about the PvE content in the game. So we've got Living World. Fractals and raids. Woo! So let's talk about Living World up first then. Between episodes 2 and 3, we already mentioned we'll be releasing a special new type of content called Visions of the Past. We'll have more details on that at PAX East. So, I like this. They're actually going to use an event in real life to hype something up, to announce something. That sounds really good. Again, obviously, I would kind of like to know exactly what this is kind of going on here, but, well, I don't know when PAX East is. That probably isn't. I imagine if they're talking about it here, it probably isn't that far away. So, you know, stay tuned. We'll be getting information on that soon. I would love to see what exactly it is. I think there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think, me and Deroya here, we were talking about this yesterday, right? How we were worried that Fractals might be getting replaced. I think the only reason why we thought that was because they kind of had a bit of overlap thematically with Fractals, kind of going back in the past and encountering stuff like from another character's perspective. So that's what made us worried there. So yeah, this kind of clarity is really necessary. Like, they should tell us that here, right? I mean, like, they're talking about Fractals later on and implying that they're not dead, right? But the reason there was this unrest around Fractals with relations to Visions of the Past was because of the lack of communication from ArenaNet, right? So yeah, I'd like to a little bit more, but hey, I'll allow it. Oh, it's the end of February? Oh, there you go, right? So we're going to know about this, very, very soon. It isn't coming that soon, then presumably it will be coming maybe in March at some point, like maybe the mid towards the end of March. So that kind of gives us a vague idea of when that's coming there as well in terms of content. So, I don't know. There you go. But yeah, so that's between episodes 2 and 3. So it is coming between as well. This is going to be something that will get shipped outside of the living world, which is very, very interesting. An important note there as well. Previously ArenaNet has had a tendency to bundle stuff together, which is quite notorious, really. So yeah, I like the direction they're going there as well. I can't go into tons of details on episodes 3 and 4 because, spoilers and all. Wow. But I can tell you the map is meta-focused with a push and pull feel similar to World versus World in a PvE setting. Oh my god. Wow. What a really interesting idea for a map. And this, dude, me and Deroya were perfectly right on this. We predicted that, they need to have some meta-style maps that maybe even have some, like, Bureau, right? Which is kind of like, oh, yeah, just do random events, go around, really quick fire. This one's going to be more like a giant meta map there as well. And also, guys, they have inadvertently memed here, okay? Episodes 3 and 4, but I can tell you the map, right? So it looks like they're going to do the same thing that they did before. It's going to be one map with 2 episodes that will potentially expand out or be changed in some way. So that's kind of interesting detail there as well. And I do prefer that approach there as well. So that's a nice little tidbit of information there. From ArenaNet about the future episodes. High energy. We want maps this season to bring something to them that makes them a permanent part of your play. Oh my god. Breaking news. ArenaNet LLC realizes they're developing an MMORPG. It only took them 7 years to realize it. Good job, guys. You figured it out. Yeah, I mean... Guys, they know. They have the critical information. Unbelievable. Insane. That's why the culmination of Bureau Marches is a world boss. And we're striving for high replayability for the episodes 3 and 4 map. I've got to check. Is this actually... This isn't like one of those April Fool's memes, right? I'm not getting trolled here. It doesn't say at the bottom of the page, right? This is not actually ArenaNet. Oh, yep, no, yeah, it is them. This is official, I think. I'm not getting pranked. This is a totally different company that we're dealing with here. Seriously. This is actually a totally different company that we're dealing with. Yeah. I don't know. I have nothing negative to say about that statement. I can't believe I'm even reading this. This makes me really happy to read. This actually, in the same way, right, that when you see CMC talk about his approach to balance, right, and his understanding of how the game should play out and how it should be. This is the equivalent for PvE. Like, this guy gets it, right? And by proxy, ArenaNet get it as well, right? Because he's in charge, right? He's the content design lead. But I don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, that's real good. We want it to be a unique, fun, and rewarding experience that will be a part of your daily, weekly play cycle. Oh no! Insane! This is crazy, guys. ArenaNet redemption arc confirmed, guys. New emote, teapot debate. What is this? that actually is pretty good, actually, isn't it? Yeah. There's teapot debate. Someone can cut that out, and then there we go. Wow. They have actually, you know, reacted to feedback. They have learned. They have improved. This is a huge step forward. This genuinely, I'm not even saying this, guys. Look, okay, buy the game using my referral link, guys. Do it now, right? Like, let's get that out of the way. But yeah, I'm not saying this just because I'm shilling for ArenaNet. This is actually an insanely good sign for the future of the game. Look, they can still turn it around, like, and they actually might be able to do it now if they actually stick to this. This is insane. After episode 4, again, I'm going to be somewhat vague here, but we want to revisit some we want to revisit some of the types of content we pioneered in the past. We learned a lot with Living World Season 1. Oh my god! What? And the one thing they did very well was bring the community into the story and make their actions drive the plot forward. The Nightmare Tower, the election between Evan Nashville and Ellen Keel. These things are memorable experiences because the community's combined efforts had an impact on the world. As you may have noticed, we've been testing tech with things like the Boss Rush event that we hope to leverage later on in the Ice Road Saga to create a unique community experience. But learning lessons from Season 1, the bulk of this content will be built in a way that it's still playable after the Ice Road Saga comes because, oh my god. Oh my god! What is this? Where did this come from? I don't... How? Why? What happened? What happened, guys? I barely even know what to say. Seriously. I am very impressed. There are things that I really agree with here, like a particular note, right? Communities' combined efforts have an impact on the world. Yeah. Living Story Season 1 was a genuine innovation. ArenaNet is innovating once again. You know what this is, guys? No. Genuine innovation. Old ArenaNet is back, boys. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And what are they talking about here, right? A unique community experience, but learning lessons from Season 1. The bulk of this content will be built in a way that will be playable after the Ice Road Saga. Do you know what that means, guys? That means stuff like the Lost Shores event, like the Karka Queen or whatever it was, like the Mega Karka Queen. They're going to have like one-time events. That's what they're implying. Like one-time special, you know, be a part of the story thing. That is amazing. That concept is incredible. This is like, oh my god. Why didn't they do this 3 years ago. See, they do know. This is what's so annoying to me. I knew ArenaNet wasn't that incompetent. They know, but they just didn't do it. Like, oh my god. I don't know if I should be mad or happy about this. I actually don't know. Like, should I be flaming them for not doing anything for 3 years? Or should I be praising them for their actual understanding of game design? I think it's probably both, isn't it? Yeah, this is an amazing idea. This is something that MMOs, particularly like story-driven PvE MMOs, like really struggle with. Like, you feel irrelevant. Like, you feel like the world is static and dead, right? Living Story Season 1 was a massive innovation. Yes, it did eventually burn the company out, and some of the content wasn't exactly tip-top, super sparkly, but it was absolutely a massive innovation to like the normal content cycle of an MMORPG. This is absolutely incredible. I can't believe I'm even reading this. I'm going to be using that phrase a lot. Like, what this is... What... what is this? Generally, as a team, we're placing a greater emphasis on repeatable content. Open world events, world bosses, world versus world, and yes, even fractals, hint hint. We want to make the types of content that have the lasting positive impact on the game. So expect that design approach to focus on that more going forward. Huh. I mean, this is interesting. World versus world focus. Okay, I like it. I like it. I've got to say though, like, do ArenaNet watch my stream? Were they listening when I said that Living Story was actually like mega innovation and better than expansions if it's executed well? And that World versus World is like the ultimate endgame game mode because it's both casual friendly and player driven, like sandboxy style. Are they making like the game that I want them to make now? I can't believe it. They're doing a 180 on their 180. CMC, I see. What do you mean? Wait, come on. What's going on there, dude? Wow. This is big. This is very, very big. Yeah. I mean, look. And I see some of the memers in the chat, right? I see the memers in the chat and I agree with you, right? I agree with you, okay? This is a text post, right? Let's see if they deliver, right? Let's see if they deliver. Of course, right? Like, we should, but to me, this is very exciting. You guys know how I am. I'm an optimistic guy. I like to believe, right? I see something like this, I go like, oh, nice, right? When I see something like the balance patch, even before I've seen the actual balance patch, I go, oh, tone down the power levels, nice. This is massive. This is absolutely insane. This design philosophy, I love. I absolutely love this design philosophy. I really hope that everyone likes it as well, and ArenaNet as a company is rewarded for this, in terms of finance, right? Like, this could legitimately, if they actually execute this, they will once again have a unique product on the market that will be able to easily compete with other MMORPGs and have things that they don't have, right? You're gonna have that superior combat system and also that slightly next generation content delivery system that generic MMOs do not have and that this game has the potential to have. I think that's really... Guild Wars 2, if they actually deliver on this, Guild Wars 2 will end up being an industry-leading title again. It used to be, and then it kind of sank back and went a little bit more generic, a bit more mainstream, a bit more traditional with its approach to how it does content and the development direction, like story-driven single-player PvE stuff, right? If they actually do this, this is amazing. But, okay, if you are skeptical, I completely understand that, right? We've been burned a few times. I really hope that, listen, ArenaNet, I'm rooting for you, lads, okay? I always say this, guys. I always say this, right? I want them to nail this, right? Because I really love this game, even though it's, you know, I've had a rocky relationship a few times. You know, we've all been there, guys, right? But if they actually can nail this down, this is absolutely incredible, right? Oh, man. Feels good, man. Yeah. What is this? They're going to develop World versus World. They're going to have more world bosses like Drakkar and stuff like that, and make them so they're a part of your daily cycle, which is kind of what me and Doro were talking about yesterday, right? Like having some daily achievements, weekly achievements, even maybe even monthly and stuff like that. Like Fractals, you do them every day. They're very repeatable there as well. They're going to focus on the content that you do more than once, right? And the open world events you'll want to do, you know, maybe every day or something like that, right? I don't know. That stuff, you know, people do Octovine every day, people do Chat Garrett every day, like Dragon Stand, right? Like all this stuff is like kind of engaging, right? It's kind of good stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, right? And yeah, there are no raid mentions here, but I mean, well, there's a look, raids gets an entire paragraph. It gets a whole bullet pointed list, okay, to itself, right? So, Fractals. On the topic of Fractals, reports of their death have been greatly exaggerated, though I apologize that our silence on the topic raised that concern. Very level-headed, makes sense. And yeah, I was wrong. I legitimately assumed that Fractals were dead content. Right, I haven't had a Fractal for a year. The previous Fractals weren't very well received, so I assumed, oh, they're just going to cut it, right? Because they weren't very well received. They've kind of tried to rework them and people didn't like it. They didn't like it even less. You know, they liked it even less with some of the new instabilities and stuff like that. It just seems that Fractals in general have not been much of a community pleaser, but it looks like we're going back to Fractals there. So fair enough. I am personally committed to Fractals and see them as an area that deserves more focus and attention going forward. I'm happy to announce that Cameron Rich, who worked on Fractals during Season 3, will be taking the reins on a new Fractal as he rolls off his current duties. This Fractal will feature a challenge mode. Ah! Oh my god! Beyond that, I'm working with the systems design team on more plans to keep Fractals fresh and exciting. I'm excited when everything is ready to share. Oh, and when everything's ready to share, we'll have more details. Oh, challenge modes. Some of the best content they have ever put in the game is coming back. I don't believe it. Now that it It is almost like they actually watched the stream and went through my wish list and just ticked it all off. All that's missing is elite specs and maybe an X-Pack with the elite specs, right? That's all that's missing. Or maybe Guild Wars 3, that's missing too, right? I mean, this is crazy. This is actually insane, right? The only thing I don't understand is why they didn't do this sooner. I guess it's because they were so focused on the other projects, right? That they didn't really have the resources to actually do this. But damn. This is older ArenaNet. Like, I see the spark again. Like, I was on record, guys, on Tea Time, saying that I felt like ArenaNet almost lost passion, like lost faith in their own abilities, in their own game, in their own product, right? But I see that enthusiasm, right? Like that desire to push the limits and make a better game. I see that back here in this post. This is a very good post. And yes, I would like to see some more specifics here as well. But look, we've got a CM. We know that's coming, right? Fractals, you know, I guess they're probably going to rework them. We'll probably see a different approach to instabilities, maybe. Look, if we're talking suggestions, guys, I would actually highly recommend reworking Agony Resistance. Maybe make it account bound and make it not an item anymore. Because I think Agony Resistance is a weird mechanic in a game that's about horizontal progression and ult friendliness. So I think Agony resistance in general may not have much of a place here. It kind of gets in the way of your standard progression, you know, fractals then raids. It makes it more like you do raids then fractals a lot of the time, because it's just way easier to get into raids than fractals because of the way Ascended Gear works and the way Agony resistance works. But I mean, hey, that's a suggestion there for me. Fresh and exciting. Ooh, yeah. Well, I don't know. Sounds good to me, boys. Sounds good to me. Raids. Raids are a trickier beast. Uh-oh. They're a unique and experience and community that we want to find better ways to support. The biggest challenge in creating more is the small audience they attract. Uh-oh. We gathered data to determine why, and the most common answer was that there is a giant leap in difficulty between raids and other endgame content, and there isn't anything to help players work their way up. I'm a little bit surprised about that, actually, because I don't really view it as a massive step up from, say, Fractals, stuff like Fractal CMs, and stuff like Amala, for example, is quite an intense fight, like much faster paced than raids even. But they have data, and as a result of that, I cannot argue with them. If they have the data, then there we go, right? That is what it is, right? I think a really big thing with raids is that it's 10 people, which kind of puts people off, so it's kind of harder to get a group. But also that the raid scene is so small that anyone who's good doesn't really want to play with anyone who's bad anymore. And a really big thing there is that there is no real incentive to... there's no real incentive to repeat raids. I think if raids are more repeatable, you'd see a lot more players pugging all the time, all week long, making it easy to get groups. And if there was kind of more of an incentive for a player who's already killed the raid to kill it again, then they're more likely to try hard, right, and try and carry the raid there as well. I think they should also really incentivize playing with a guild. I think guilds should be integrated more into the game, particularly with raids, such that if you play through with a guild, it gives you additional rewards or something like that, right? Like, you know, it should be join a community guild, right? Stay there and play together, right? And to avoid abusing it, make it so that you have to have been in the guild for, say, 3 days or something like that before you get this bonus reward, right? So you can't just add your pug group all to the same guild to get the rewards, right? Yeah, do something like that. Another way that I think they could do this stuff is by adding a difficulty tier or something like that, right? Like add a difficulty tier, like a training mode raid or something like that. Or I've heard this is a system in Final Fantasy. Like every time you wipe to the boss, it gives you like a damage buff, damage and health buff, right? And then eventually you'll get more powerful, up to a certain limit, obviously, where you might be able to kill it. Like these are all suggestions that, you know, like could potentially work there. But yeah, I don't know. It's true. Like raids are a tricky beast. He's 100% correct here. And yeah, the audience in raids is very, very small. However, I would say that a really big part of why the raid scene is so small is because the raid scene is so neglected, right? Like one raid a year is nowhere near enough to sustain an actual raid scene, right? Like especially when it's only 3 bosses per raid, and often quite easy as well. I really think that raids need difficulty settings, because right now raids don't like fully satisfy anyone, right? Because they're making them kind of easy but also not. So the players who find them too hard still find them too hard, and the players who find them too easy end up finding them ridiculously easy, and it just gets absolutely flattened, right? Which is why I think you need difficulty settings. I think at the end of the day, if you get right down to it, raid CMs need some kind of repeatability, and the normal modes should be made very, very easy. Okay? As in, like, very easy. As in, essentially, maybe only a little bit harder than strike missions, right? So, in other words, the normals are now very easy, okay? The CMs are the real mode, and because they're the CMs, they can go hard. ArenaNet can unleash and make some brutal encounters. Also, this is a bit of a wish list here, and this might not be feasible, but if they were going to do this and make normal mode effectively be easy mode and the CMs be the CMs, just to make it really exciting, I would highly recommend releasing the raid on normal mode a week before the CM. So the CMs are disabled until the week after the normal mode releases. That actually means you can have a legitimate race to Worlds First. Although actually, ArenaNet partners aren't allowed to go for Worlds First, and SC is ArenaNet partner, LN is ArenaNet partner, I'm ArenaNet partner, so there aren't really that many people who can actually go for it. So there is that, right? But I mean, hey, that yeah, look, it's still spicy, right? It's still spicy. Our intention was for strike missions to be that intermediary step up into 10-person content. As we've mentioned before, and you've likely noticed, strike missions are getting harder. Ooh, yes. Once a full suite of strike missions is complete, there should be a graceful ramp up to the existing raid content rather than the imposing leap that previously existed. And our hope is that the ramp, once the ramp is in place, a number of players participating in raids will go up. Ooh. That is a really interesting statement, and maybe, I think it will get people used to it. They'll be less intimidated, so I think on paper I would agree with that. I'm not sure if it will be that successful, though. I think there are some people who are really turned off to raids just because of the name and the connotations from other games there as well, even though it's really not like that in Guild Wars 2 at all. I think there's a lot of bad blood there. But actually, I love this approach. I was really surprised that they made this new Whisper of Jormag strike mission harder, and they're going to make them even harder. They're going to go all the way up to raid difficulty. Now, this is important, guys. Right. Now, I know that a lot of you guys who have alt accounts might not like this, but I would even say that they should maybe really not force you to do strike missions first, but strongly nudge you in that direction. I'm talking a collection for doing strike missions. Put like a legendary reward or something like a legendary raid trinket. You have to do all the strike missions, maybe even all the achievements in the strike missions, right? Like kind of show mastery over the strike missions in order to obtain this legendary reward. And then the next tier is raids, right? Like in the same way that a normal MMO might guide you through a dungeon, then like an easy raid, then a harder raid, you know, through the story of the game. In Guild Wars 2, they need a little bit of a handhold meme, right? They should get some achievements, some collections, right? NPCs yelling at you to do the strike missions first, guide you through it, right? Like the game should direct you through this path, right? It shouldn't just throw you into the deep end. I think it's vital that there is some kind of collection, some kind of achievement system, some kind of quest that will pull you through the strikes before you do raids. Maybe make it so that there's like a meta achievement for doing all the strike missions, and then after you beat that, the next tier is, hey, it's time to go and do Wing 4, right? Because that's an easy raid wing. And make it big brain ArenaNet, make it so that the raids, it would take you through the raids in a sensible order, right? Honestly, some kind of like overarching meta achievement, like really big new achievement category for end game content would be amazing, right? Like a PvE, almost like a PvE god thing. So it makes you do fractals, it makes you do strike missions, and then after that it tells you to do raids, and then after that it tells you to do raid CMs there as well, right? This is very good. Now, the thing about this is I think that they won't add CMs to strike missions, which is kind of sad, actually. But the way they're talking about it, it might not be necessary. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, well, where was I? In addition to that, we're striving to make improvements to strike missions themselves to make grouping easier and to improve the rewards. Oh, well, yeah, they're just watching tea time, dude. We hope this will help introduce more people to 10-person content, which will in turn increase the number of people interested in raids. Yeah, great. I would definitely argue that raids could do with a reward buff as well, actually, in terms of gold. Because, yeah, raids are kind of a good gold farm if you clear them really fast. But if you don't clear them really fast, then they're actually not very good for gold at all, actually. So, yeah, I think they could even buff the rewards in raids. You know, hell, maybe have a raid event or a strike mission event, right? To say, hey, do this content, right? Go, 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 go. Nice. Regardless of if that succeeds or not, we understand the importance of balancing our efforts between accessible content with broad appeal and content that appeals to the more hardcore audience, and recognize that we need to do a better job of supporting the latter. Once again, I just don't believe what I'm even reading here. How is ArenaNet even typing this? This seems to be so against their philosophy, or their old philosophy. They have really adjusted this. And I think this is to the betterment of the game, right? Again, please deliver. I know you look. Okay, look. Okay, I know, and ArenaNet, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people in the hardcore scene are not going to be placated by this. Okay, by this message. However, please do this. Like if you deliver on this, you'll win people back. However, little bit naughty here, ArenaNet. Where's the 4th bullet point telling us how many raids a year, or if it's still only going to be 1? Little bit naughty. Where's my 4th bullet point? But I'll allow it. Okay? I'll allow it. Just this once. This is a really positive thing. Like, I was genuinely terrified that they didn't care about this stuff at all, but this obviously contradicts that, right? Like, they clearly do care about this. And guys, like, you know, everyone in the chat is like, oh, you know, oh, they could be like fucking lying, they could be bullshitting, right? Well, look, guys, you have to take it at face value. You got to have a little confidence at some point, right? You know, they actually want to, you know, extend their hand, right? They want to see if they can do a better job. And look, I love Guild Wars 2, man. If I see something like this, I am on it, right? I am on board. I'm in the boat, ArenaNet. Let's go, right? Let's sail off into the sunset. I'll be there rowing, okay, with you. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. Like, just, this is all the opportunity, all the excuse I needed. Like, you put out a post like this, okay? Oh yeah, here we go. Let's get back on that ArenaNet train. I cannot believe that this even exists. Now, yeah. And of course, they don't give a crazy amount of details here regarding raids, and I would love to see like a full post regarding raids here in you know, in the future at some point. And the same with Fractals, and the same with them. God, like, tell us about some of these systems. You know, honestly, wait, PAX East. Oh, phew. Guys, get ready. PAX East is going to be spicy, because I would be surprised if they didn't talk about some of the other stuff here as well. PAX East, they're going to talk about World versus World, Fractals, raids as well, Living World, all that sort of thing. Man, this could be almost like the beginning of the relaunch. Now, listen, ArenaNet, this is very, very important, okay? I need you to listen to me now as well, okay? You've already done it on all this, right? Like, it's almost like I wrote this post. But advertise your game, right? If you actually do this, if you actually deliver on this for realsies, your game is better than the other games, right? And that means you can sell loads of copies of the game as well, and therefore get the big money. Yeah, so make sure you get out. Look, where's fucking ArenaNet Hoggum, right? We need to get him on the mix. Like, that guy, by the way, is on the ball. Like, a lot of people kind of make fun of him, but I watched him on Guild Chat. Very switched on guy, in my opinion. So yeah, get him on it, give him a pay rise, and get him doing some fucking, like, ads or something, right? Because if you can connect a relaunch, a kind of a reignition of the game to this extent, and you combine that with a really big marketing push, Final Fantasy did it. Just saying, guys, right? I'm just saying. Final Fantasy turned it around from a completely dead, horrible video game, and Guild Wars 2 isn't even that, right? Guild Wars 2 is not as bad as Final Fantasy was, right? Okay? It's definitely it's seen better days, right? But it's not that bad, right? Final Fantasy did it. You can too, 100%. At the end of the day, you have the superior baseline product compared to other MMORPGs, right? And other companies are still catching up, right? To what Guild Wars 2 actually is, right? And I'm not saying that for no reason, guys. Okay? I'm not just, like jerking off ArenaNet or anything. I'm being serious there. And I think that's a fairly fair statement to make. Like ArenaNet, in terms of their server architecture, combat system design, they were ahead. Honestly, they're ahead in 2012. Like, other companies still haven't caught up with MMORPG design now, right? There's like very little question of that. Blizzard has like ripped off so many features from this game in WoW, right? That should tell you a lot with how this game actually is. So yeah, there you go. This is a feels okay man right there. And yes, we may look, guys, it's important to be realistic. Are we gonna see like 3 raids a year? Unlikely. Could we maybe see a raid every 9 months instead of every 12? Yeah, I would love to see that. Maybe even every 8 months. Or hell, maybe raids get more popular because of this system that they're applying here. And maybe you end up seeing a raid every 6 months instead, right? Who knows? That is a little bit blue sky, but hey, I'm a blue sky kind of guy, so I'll allow it. And also, we have strike missions now too, and strike missions are quite good. They're in the daily content cycle. Some of them are approaching raid tier, and strike missions are going to be going up to raid tier in terms of difficulty there as well. World versus world is... they actually said the world versus world word in a Guild Wars 2 content post. That's going to be like a really big thing for the endgame gameplay loop there as well. I don't know. Sounds really, really good to me. This is incredible. I'm excited for what's coming next. There's going to be more news coming out throughout this year that will make it pretty kitten clear why. The kitten here, you can put any swear word you like in there, but it's pretty damn. It is, yeah, he forgot that the forums are very aggressive with the filter there, so it's pretty damn clear why. But in the meantime, we're incredibly grateful for all your constructive feedback and continued support of the game. ArenaNet listened. I don't know, dude. Like, seriously, someone needs to post this on like r/MMORPG. Like, we need to like hire a plane that has like a little ribbon, like ArenaNet listened, and like fly it all over the place. This is a miracle. A legitimate miracle. This level of communication and this level of expression of intent that they know what's wrong with the game and they're looking to fix it is unprecedented in the extreme from ArenaNet. Like, this guys is what a roadmap looks like. It's missing a few details, I'll say that. It's not a perfect roadmap, but this is what a roadmap looks like, guys. And it's a very good follow-up to the previous one. Like, the first roadmap we got kind of like rustled people a little bit because it was so non-specific. But this is a lot more than that. We've got PvP, and PvP is being fixed. Like, CMC is like 1v200ing ArenaNet on that with Ben. So there's kind of 2v200. And now the content team with Andrew Gray is going beast mode. He's like roided out right now. He's even saying kitten on the forums, going crazy. And he's going to save the rest of the game there as well, including world versus world. Guys, I want to say, you know, I'm gonna shed a manly tear to this forum post here. This is beautiful. Nice. Big gaming. Very, very big gaming. If this doesn't make you a little bit excited, all of this, then there's no saving you. The salt has consumed you. And the salt has overwhelmed you, and may you be free of it one day. And you know what? If you are too salty, then fair enough, right? Just wait and see, right? If they deliver, then maybe you can desalt. But, you know, I think that's all I can really say. So, let me say this. Let's kind of sum this up here a little bit. Let's get a bit of a wrap up here, guys. Amazing post. Andrew Gray, hero of ArenaNet, God gamer, right? This post is incredible. It tells us so many incredibly good design philosophies, okay? Repeatability, world versus world focus, okay? Having episodes dedicated to really different ideas of maps. It's kind of like world versus world PvE setting. Sounds like New World actually to me, or even Ashes of Creation, right? Like fighting where the world feels like it's fighting, it feels very dynamic PvE. Amazing. I hope they deliver on that. You know, like having some maps that are going to be like, you know, wow, you know, events on others going crazy with some bosses on there, like not a lot of long-term time stuff. This one's going to be more, seems like it's going to be very meta-driven, very you know, kind of like an adventure that's going to take a while to complete. Sounds great. And they're looking to make the maps repeatable, like, and you keep playing them instead of just doing them once, okay, and then completely forgetting them, leaving them destitute. All the developers' hard work wasted. ArenaNet have finally realized that they're making an MMORPG and not a single-player game. Incredible. Amazing. It took a little while, guys, but we did it. They realized that Living Story Season 1 was amazing. They're looking to re-implement some of that dynamic content, community-driven, community-affected content. Stuff like Lost Shores, the Ever Nashblade meme there as well, the Nightmare Tower, right? All this stuff is amazing. I don't think people even appreciate how good that really was and how mind-blowing that really was at the time, to have this type of content in your MMO, like the world actually changing and not just being static. Amazing, okay? They're focused on repeatable content. Nice. Fractals aren't dead. Now, with Fractals and Raids, I do want to note this here, right? This is very, very important. These words they need to back this up, right? They need to deliver on this. We need to be seeing, like, 2 or 3 Fractals a year. We need to be seeing 1.5 raids a year, right? Combine that with strikes, yeah, now you've got an endgame PvE content flow, right? They're looking to try and support hardcore players a little bit more. I do think that they really need to work on their systems here. Add guidance systems to bring players into these game modes. They're even adding a CM for Fractals, right? Integrate this into like a big meta blob, right? So you progress all of this and it leads you from one tier of collection to the next, right? From Fractals, from strikes to Fractals, to Fractal CMs, to raids, to raid CMs, right? I really think that they need to... I know ArenaNet don't like to say, do this, do that in that order, but just do it, right? Like, give people that ramp that you say you want them to have, right? And just deliver on it. The philosophy here, I love it, okay? This is big brain. They understand the issues, and they're looking to fix them. And their solutions, I just completely agree with them. I am so happy with this post. I honestly thought that that this game would never ever be for me ever again, truly in the same way that it used to be. But that actually might not be the case, because the company has now, it seems to have done a 180 and is now very much in line and has found that compromise, right? Yes, they're probably not going to hard focus on raids, PvP, and world versus world as I would like them to, but that's okay. They're going to compromise here, Bellix, and try and keep as many people, as many groups of those players happy by integrating and increasing the accessibility into all three game modes. And they're even using events. I can't believe it. Oh my god. Like, what? ArenaNet is actually a real company. They understand. They know. They're going to shill their game at PAX East. Let's go to Gamescom, guys, right? Let's blow this shit up, right? I want to see ads all over those. I want to see Twitch ads. I want to see Twitch drops. Let's fucking go, guys, right? You know, shill this game. Get it out there, because it's actually a good game. Look, right now, Guild Wars 2 is Omega LOL. Simple as that, guys. That is the public perception of Guild Wars 2. It's Omega LOL. It's time to change that, guys. It is time to change the perception of this game. From Omega LOL to POG, okay? Maybe even Champ as well, right? That's what we need to do. Be a completely amazing post. An amazing post. And, you know, I don't know. It really makes me feel like the company actually understands these issues and has listened. Like, legitimately, guys, I'm not making this up. They address almost every concern that I have about the game in the way that I would do it. The curse has been broken.